Welcome. This is Rodney Real Estate Tate again, and welcome to another episode of Tate Talk, where we aim to provide credible information on health, wealth, and growth for just regular folks. All right, so today's a really exciting topic for several different reasons, and being in the industry for just at 5 years, will be 5 years in August. I get a lot of, I work with a lot of younger people, millennials, to purchase their homes and get their kind of assets in order and things like that. And a number one thing they want to know about is getting involved in real estate some sort of way, especially my buyer clients who end up purchasing a home, realize that the process does take some time and how rewarding it is at the end. A lot of them end up wanting to get involved in a career, either in real estate or investing. A lot of millennials are more interested in actually more interested in actually investing in property than they are actually buying a home for themselves. They'd rather invest early on. And so today we're going to talk about just that, the difference between being an investor and a real estate agent. I did a poll recently on Facebook to ask. I just asked the question from just leading up to this Tate Talk. Ooh, almost messed up there. This Tate Talk, and the poll says 67% of people that voted on this poll would rather be the investor, and that's interesting to me. So I've brought on some high level help this evening. A buddy of mine, Emilio Armour, he's going to help us kind of dissect this and kind of talk about some of these issues. But it's a good topic because it's one that I had to make myself. I had to make this same decision. Did I want to go directly into investing, and was I ready? Or should I go into a career in real estate as an agent and get my license and go down that path? You see, when I got out of the Navy in 2010, I was looking for work, trying to find a job, applied all kind of places, and didn't really get any great offers right off the bat. So I ended up in a career in the car business doing sales. So sales really is what kind of turned everything around for me. And once in the car business, I was looking for a little bit more. I was always interested in real estate. Even in the car business, actually, in 2011, I attended a conference with Robert Kiyosaki. Not him, he wasn't there, but it was basically one of his conferences. They came to Memphis all the time. I was so interested in investing and getting involved in that because, I mean, who's not interested in that, right? But anyway, getting back, I was doing all this research on investing and what are some great ways to get involved investing if you don't have a ton of capital, or what's the first steps in general? What am I looking for? What kind of deals are profitable? How do I avoid making mistakes early on? All those kinds of things. And what I found is it's a lot of information that we have to uncover in order to be proficient and take and avoid as much risk, because anytime you invest, there's always risk involved, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. It comes from my personal story as well, my background. I've also considered, should I be just jumping in this investor side? They were telling me things like, in wholesaling and other realms of investing in real estate. They're telling me that, you don't need any money. You don't need any experience or any of that kind of stuff to get started in real estate. And after a lot of research, I found that to be kind of maybe not false, but I found it to be a little bit misleading. But today we're going to uncover all those misleading ideas and topics, because we've got a professional here that's going to join us. In fact, let me go ahead and introduce him. Mr. Emilio Armour he's been an investor for about 15 years. He's also been a realtor for, I believe, about 5 years or so. Let's go ahead and get him on here on the line with us so we can get this conversation started. Emilio, what's going on, brother?
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, sir. Coming through loud and clear. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and let the audience know just a little bit about who you are and your career in real estate.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a Memphian. Memphis, born and raised, tried and true. I bleed blue like those Memphis Tigers. So
Tigers go.
go Tigers, go, baby. I got into investing, just understanding. I think I went to one of those seminars as well, Richard from Robert Kiyosaki. And someone actually introduced and gave me the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And at the time, I was actually in pharmacy school, working through pharmacy school and looking at houses, just in any spare moment that I had. So it's kind of a dual, learning going on for me then. And my first purchase in real estate was my own home first. So I recommend anybody, if you're gonna do this, you need to have your own home first. It makes no sense to try to make some money on someone else paying you rent when you're paying rent to someone else your own self. That just putting the cart before the horse on that one. That gives you a base, that gives you a foundation. You're building equity in your own primary residence, and you're actually partaking in investing right there. That's your own home. From there, though, the next year in, pretty much '07 and beyond, start buying houses. And that kind of just kick started off that whole journey of all that knowledge and information, first and foremost, of just how to do this properly, how to set it up. And a lot of it is just also, hey, you've got to get the experience. You've got to get off the couch, so to speak. You got to risk your biscuit and get in and get involved, get active with it.
Yeah. And I think that's a great point that you made. I think that a lot of people don't even realize. Again, I get people that inquire all the time, like, "What do I need to do to start investing? Can you send me some properties that will make me money?" And as a realtor, I would say that's a little bit broad, because there are so many different ways
very broad because everybody has their own strategy.
Exactly.
And everybody has their own risk tolerance. I may not want to invest in certain areas where someone else is like, I want those, and vice versa. So everyone has their own risk tolerance and their own, way of doing and running their own business, because that's what you're doing essentially. You're running a business. You're not just, I'm gonna just get this house. This is not a hookup. This is not a limit holiday. No, this is a business.
Yeah.
You're dealing with an asset that can be disposed of in different ways. You're dealing with a person who's going to be renting the property from you. So you need to understand how to screen a tenant. How are you going to get their credit report? What are you using? What are you doing? So all of those questions, on the front end, you can take time and learn those now. You don't have to own the property to have that, but you want to set it up in place so that once you do acquire property and it's rent ready, that you can put the best qualified tenant in, not just somebody who got $300 or $500 or 10,000. What? No, why are you qualified to get this home? Are you someone, because they're gonna be staying in your place? They're gonna do everything they under the sun in your house, and you want to have a good feel of who that person is.
Yeah, you're looking at it from a buy and hold standpoint, where you're gonna have the property and make it an investment property. Investment income, where it's like passive income, tenants paying you rent over time, house either pay for itself or and then start to bring you cash flow, every single month. So that's great, and I think those are great options. But let me ask you this. So before you got your license about 5 years ago, right? Okay. And before that, you were already a real estate investor for about 10, 11 years before you actually decided to get your license?
Right. It was about right at 10 years before I got my license. As far as I going already investing.
What
And
made you decide to go ahead and get your real estate license, even though you had already been a tried and true investor, as you would put it, tried and true investor for so long already? What value did you see in going and getting your real estate license?
well, like I said, I'm a student of everything. Always reading, always learning. And one of the sites that I came across was biggerpockets.com. Shout out to Bigger Pockets. You can connect with a lot of different people that can give you a lot of information. you may be on information overload, but at the same time, one of the biggest things that what I heard was get your real estate license. Go and take the test, pass the exam. They say you may never need it, you may never use it, but having that knowledge alone just gives you another feather in your cap because an investor, you're making business decisions and you want to have as much information as can so you can have an informed decision. So getting that license help with that informed decision process. I have access to the MLS. I can see every home in the zip codes that are in real time, what's selling, how long has it been on the market, how does it look, when was it sold before, and all those things. All those things that you have to extrapolate data from 3 or 4 different websites. I have at my disposal. That was one of the biggest benefits I see as far as being an agent and investor
So is that
by
just
going
is
to
that
get
is
that.
that is that just in general access to the MLS is what you're referring to, or is it more than that?
Well, that's a portion of it. The other portion is the fact that being an agent, I take clients out to see homes to purchase, or I speak to sellers who need to sell their home, and I list their home. So I'm actually active in the market
Those
on
are
both
different
sides of the
revenue
spectrum.
streams than what you would get in investing, though, right? Because you, as an investor, you wouldn't be able to do that. So those are two different revenue streams right off the bat.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a passion that God's given me to help people, and in real estate, pharmacy is one way, and real estate is another. That I get to help people, and it's just a beautiful thing when someone is so excited, and especially for those first time buyers, they just thought this would never happen for
Yeah,
me. My mama rented, my grandmother rented, and for us to own our own home, I vividly remember several times at the closing table with people with tears in their eyes because they're so excited, ecstatic, and overjoyed that they
that
are now officially homeowners. And
man,
that's a
that
big
feeling.
milestone.
That feeling is, I'm telling you, it's one of the best feelings in the world. I used to enjoy that because when in the car business, I had clients who would come in and they didn't really qualify and they didn't think they could get a car and they really needed one. But I
Hmm.
would go to bat and work really hard for them and prove to them that, just if we can do some things, set some things up a certain way, we can get there. It may take us a month. It may take us, a couple weeks. It may take a little bit longer.
Right.
But if anybody can do it, that's the whole point. Anybody can do it, and I think that some of my most gratifying deals were people who come to me and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a rental property. Can you help me?" It's like, "Yeah, I can help you. I can help you with a rental property. We do have a property management company. However, have you considered purchasing a home, right?" And oftentimes they don't think they can, and put them through the process, let them apply. We're running a program here where it's just try. This is just try. If you don't try and find out where you stand as far as getting approved for a home loan, how else will what you need to do to get that done? So I think that's a great point there.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so let me
Do
ask you
you
this.
do
No,
you
go
have
ahead.
video of me? Do you have video of me?
Yeah, it went out just for a short span, but we
Okay.
got you. I still got you here.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. Um, you said your first. This is what I found kind of profound. A lot of people think that their first investment property is a property that they won't occupy, and that's not how you looked at it. You looked
Mm-mm.
at your first investment property as the home that you were going to actually occupy and live in. Can you give us a little bit more on why your mindset was like that, and why other young investors should consider doing that as well?
Well, your home base. For one, depending on if it's a home you're living in, first of all, I always say you want to stay skinny, live beneath your means. If you're planning on becoming an investor and doing this full time, there's always going to be a time where you're going to need to have cash flow shown, whether you're showing it to the bank or whether you need it to get the next deal going. You need cash flow. So instead of going and buying that $400,000, this that home with everything in it, get you something that you can afford that allows you to have a monthly budget with a surplus of income versus a break even and or negative. That's one of the first nuggets that I really want to give to everybody is live beneath the means. And if you sacrifice just a little while it'll set you up for the future a lot faster than trying to scrimp and save every single month, every single year, and barely having enough. That's the first thing. So own your own home. Put something down on. Don't just get zero down because it's your own home. Put your 10% down. Put your 20% down if you have it. That gives you instant equity right there. That could be used if you needed it. It could be a home equity line of credit. That could be some money that you could borrow against on your home once your home gains more equity. So that's why I say the house, your own primary home, is your first investment. Every home is an investment, even your first home that you live in. If you buy it in a neighborhood that does not see appreciation, then in my opinion, that's a bad investment. You want to buy your home in a neighborhood that you say, oh, this is a nice, stable neighborhood. The numbers are here, and I can project in about 5 to 10 years, the numbers will be here because the average person moves in about 5 to 10 years, 7 to 10 years in that range.
Yeah.
So you want to say, okay, I want a home that's going to appreciate. I want a home that I can buy now, that I can afford, but I can truly, really afford. Meaning, it's beneath my means, but it's still nice enough for me not to be embarrassed or shamed. But it's something that I know, hey, I've got a plan to go forward. From there, then you start investing in buying other properties, whether you're buying them to flip or buying them for passive income. Each property that I undertake, I give it a test. What's the best use for me with this property, depending on the financing and depending on the purchase price and what do I plan on doing with it. Is this a property that I want to rent? Is this a property that I want to flip? And what numbers will get me there?
Yeah, so that all goes into like strategy, like we were talking earlier. Every investor kind of comes in with their own strategy and what's important to them, and I think that's something that investors or potential investors have to consider. They have to consider one, their, like you said, risk tolerance, right? That's a big
Right.
one because you need to know how much money you can afford to lose potentially. Because if you're not looking
Exactly.
at that,
It's a great way to put it.
you're putting yourself in a situation where it may you may be in over your head, right?
Right. That's a great way to put it. You have to understand, hey, every investment is not always going to pan out. And the thing is, you want to set yourself up for the long haul and understand this is a long game. Investing, we're not. This is not a one hit a quitter type situation. You want to consistently get better over time, consistently produce, so that when you finally say, okay, I'm done, I'm ready to pass it on, then that's when you cash out. That's when the big payday comes. In the meantime, in between time, you want to make sure that you're putting deals in place that are going to allow you to maximize those dollars for that property right there. And that's business. That's investing.
Absolutely. If you're watching right now, I want you guys to just like the post. If you got any questions, comments, post where you're from, post it where you're watching from, where you're watching the platform from. If you want more information like this, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube page, or just follow us every week. We're here Thursday, 6 o'clock every single week. So we're here with Emilio Armour. And he is a 15-year real estate investor, 5-year realtor. And we're just talking a little bit about being an investor versus an agent or a combo, because he has definitely seen both sides. And that's what we're talking about here now. So we just got through talking about financing and funding your own deal and how that first purchase should be your own home. I think that makes a lot of sense because if you haven't even been through the process of purchasing a home for yourself or purchasing a home at all, what makes you so eager to jump into an investment deal where there's a lot more risk involved than it would be on like a FHA, VA financing or something like that, because you have some kind of security and some kind of backing there. And investment properties, you're putting a lot more up in order to get some of those deals. And so as far as financing is concerned, if they want to get involved without going and getting their real estate license first, what do you think? What are some financing options that you feel are realistic and also effective for novice or brand new investors?
Absolutely. So with financing, depending on what the strategy is with the property. If you're flipping a house and you don't have all the cash, you don't have that rich uncle that you can say, "Hey, uncle, I need to borrow,
I need
$100,000 to
one
buy
of
this
those.
house and fix it." I mean, I need two, three of those actually.
For real.
Yeah, I take one though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if you don't have it immediately in your family, somebody that you can borrow money from, the next best thing besides banking, besides an actual physical brick and mortar bank, is a hard money lender. But the numbers must pencil out, and you must do your own homework and do your own numbers with that. I've never had a situation where a hard money lender called my loan back because I either couldn't pay it or whatever's going on. But I've heard of several stories of where the numbers never made sense. The hard money lender lended on the property knowing that the person did not know what they were doing and that they would probably have a great deal once they foreclose on the hard money loan.
Yeah, once they default,
So
it was
mhm,
that's how they make their money though, because
that's how
it's
they
a high
make their
interest
money.
loan and they expect default a lot of times.
It's high interest. They expect a default, and they know the deal better than you. They wouldn't fund it if it was a bad deal. They they understand that if the numbers won't work on the backside, for them or for you to make a profit, then they won't even touch it.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing is knowing your numbers on that. But hard money lenders, there's a place for them. I've used them. I actually do hard money loans if someone needs. That's another
Oh,
uh,
nice.
uh, stream of income, but also another way to just really get involved with it. Other portion is
See that,
banking.
guys? Look, we introducing you guys to hard money lenders. Look what we're doing here on the platform. Look, if you need to give them your information right now, real quick, Amirio, so they can know how to contact you if they need a hard money lender on a property.
I'm a little bit above the millennials on the age, and I tell you one thing: text messaging works great for me. Calls or text message. I'm at 901-484-1135. My email is my name, AARMOUR, the number 2.AA@gmail.com. I'm very easy to work with. I'll explain it to you, and we move forward from there.
Any social
Um,
media platforms that you're on?
Social media, I'm on Facebook. My name Amirio Armour. Instagram, AmirioArmour.farmd/realtor. I'm just me.
Guys,
I don't hide. I don't sugarcoat. Just me.
what's the name of the real estate company you work for and your investment company?
Right. My real estate company is Kaizen Realty, and I'm part of the Wealth Group, the Money Spartan team, the Wealth Group, where we do a lot of things with finance. And wow, I really, Rodney caught me off guard. I really want to look at the
I know
plug
that's
this
another
tonight.
show right there.
That'd be episode 2 right there.
Absolutely, sounds man. We'd love to have you back for sure. You're definitely giving these guys some jewels from both perspectives, because I think it's important. What's I think unique is that you came in. I wanted to come in the way you did. You came in as a investor, bought your first home, and then started investing in property, and then it was like, you know what? Tired of hiring these realtors to, help me sell my properties and stuff like that and all that, and then go get your license. Mine was different. I came in immediately. I was looking into, I wish I was able to get right into the investment side. But at the time, I wasn't even thinking about buying my own property to do that because I wasn't educated on it, Now I know, that's definitely the way to go because right off the bat, especially if you put the right amount of money down, you do a traditional conventional, 20% down, right? It's usually some of the best rates usually out there.
Oh yeah.
And when you start to compete with some of these other offers on the market, you're going to win more than likely with a traditional conventional. So I know there are definitely programs for people that are interested in getting down payment assistance. But those deals are tougher to get accepted in offers just because there are more conditions, right? Because it's a seller's market right now. Buyers have to be in tip-top shape in order to win the home of their dreams, right? And in this market, we're saying if you get the home, then that's a good deal, because otherwise, what's the point of putting in offers if you're not going to win any?
Exactly. It's important. It's important to know how to bid and when to bid. And I'm looking at the horizon. I've been talking to all my bankers. I just communicating with them. What do you see on the horizon? Y'all, inflation is coming. So if we think prices, oh man, they price too high. They're not coming down. They're going up.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Inflation is on the way.
And people are expecting this big kind of bubble to burst or something again in real estate, and it's just not existing right now. I get people, that's usually my younger investors that are so eager to get involved and started. They want the secret foreclosure list, right? And it's like, I mean, first of all, we don't have the foreclosure percentages are super low right now.
Everybody's on forbearance. That's what's going on there.
And because of all these other forbearance
and the government pretty much says no foreclosure at all.
Exactly. So there are no foreclosure properties, but everybody seems to be interested. Like that's the only way to acquire a good investment property, and I disagree with that. But if we gave out all our secrets, So
can't tell all the secret sauce.
Let me ask you this, because we're kind of on this topic a little bit. We were just talking about financing, and many people are instructed that to get involved in real estate, you don't have to have any money, you don't have to have a lot of experience. Just start wholesaling, man. You start wholesaling deals, and you don't even have to have a real estate license, and all you gotta do is like send out 100 mailers to whatever Timbuktu, hang your litter your signs in people's neighborhoods and stuff. And so do you think that for young investors, newer investors, that wholesaling is a way to raise capital in order to start an investment portfolio?
Sounds interesting. Sounds like somebody else is gonna be making a lot of money off of it on their situation. I would say it's gonna cost money to get involved either way. I don't believe in this. You get out what you put in. If you put in zero, it's not gonna happen. Nothing good will happen for you. But definitely say, you're gonna have to have an investment. Your marketing budget, because that's sales. If you're doing anything in this industry, it's sales. And anybody trying to sell you, if you're doing anything with sales,
you're doing anything in life, it's sales. Let's do that, because that's really what it is.
You've got to know how to sell it, and sometimes you pitch in front of the right person. Well, it's going to cost you money to find that one. Your conversion rate may be from anywhere from 1 to 100 or 1 to 1,000. And if you got to send out 1,000 mailers to get that one, you got to know, hey, it may take that. It may take more. I don't know.
Absolutely. But is it worth it? Yeah.
I mean, with wholesaling, I look at real estate agencies as each brokerage is going to have listings all the time. So there's opportunities for an agent to co-market with other agents within the brokerage. You can share that load. As a wholesaler, you're independent. You're by yourself, and everything is all on you. And what you don't know can hurt you, and what you don't know is also what you don't know. And so I think it's very key and powerful to have that backing. I would have never in a million years thought about not doing pharmacy full time and picking up wholesaling. I said no, that to me that was a no-go. That was a no way. I'm not gonna do that. With real estate, being an agent, I was still full-time pharmacy before I did the agent full-time, because it was a supplement, but it also at the same time I had some investments that really were just panning out. As well. So it was
what I call that, Emirio? I call that the monkey bar method. You ever heard of the monkey bar?
No, talk to me. How's the monkey bar method?
The monkey bar method is this: you got something that's it's not exactly the dream or anything like that. This could be a girlfriend, boyfriend, or something too, right? they not really meeting what your expectations are, right? But until you swing and grab with the next hand to that next rung, you're gonna hold on to that first one, that pharmacy job, like you said, right?
Right.
Until this proves that it's gonna take care of what we need and take care of our needs, right? That's the monkey
Right.
bar method, right? You're gonna hold on to this until something better come along. And I think that's the way you should do anything as far as career wise. You know, I did some crazy stuff because I could take a little more risk as when I was younger, right? But I think for a lot of people with families and kids and things like that, you
Oh
have to
man.
be a little more calculated in those kind of things. And I think anybody can become an investor or a real estate agent. I just think that you just got to make your mind up and put the plan in place to make that happen. So yeah, I totally agree with you there. Now, but back on wholesaling a little bit, I've lived in 38118. Are you familiar with that zip code?
Yes, I
All
am.
right. And why are you so familiar with that zip code as an investor?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of opportunity for people to get deals over there. You know, they, because it's a high rental area. So
Mhm.
if you're looking to have a passive income portfolio, then hey, that's the area you would want to target.
Exactly. So, and that's why that zip code has a influx of we buy houses signs, all these bandit signs saying we buy houses cash and 10 days we give you top dollar or whatever for your house. They put them on your stop signs, they put them on your light poles, they put them in your ground on the corners.
Mm,
It's but here's the
yeah.
thing. They do that in those neighborhoods, but you'll never ever see in other neighborhoods like Germantown or Collierville or even some Bartlett neighborhoods aren't allowing any of that kind of stuff because
No, that's against the city ordinances. No, we because
that's
it's a nuisance. It's a nuisance.
and I think that the neighborhoods they have control over that. They can allow that to continue to happen, or they could take charge and tell them that we're not going to have any of that stuff here because I don't think, in my opinion, that those bandit signs help the neighborhood. Now, wholesaling in general as a tool to help people, it can absolutely be a tool to help people. But at the same time, I've more often seen it be detrimental to people who are actually in need, right? They
Oh
have
yeah.
inherited a property from their family, and they could they could sell the property and it could pay some bills and help them out a little bit. Maybe it's short term, but it'll give them something, right? But a wholesaler comes along and makes them agree to the lowest bottom number that they'll take, and then they go and make a spread after they got their affirmative on what their seller wants, for the house. I think that's why I think all people, before they sell their property, should consult a licensed real estate professional.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, it's one of those things where the information that you don't know can actually hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how much your home is worth, and also a lot of times the wholesalers they're not tied to anything. They're not bound by anything. So there's no recourse.
Yeah.
They got you signed and they got your home sold or gone on with your deed or whatever, and they're gone and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
And the courts will be like, what, we can't do anything.
Yeah. Yep. And now and okay. And now to look at the flip side, because as a realtor, I take my community. I take it very, very seriously. Where people are trying to poach and kind of get over on some of our citizens. But on the flip side, it can be lucrative. But don't be deceived by the glamour that you see everybody selling. Like a lot of times you'll see people selling classes for wholesaling and telling you that it's no problem. It's just about mailing out, so and so amount of letters and all this kind of stuff. But the real thing is to know what that deal looks like, how you can actually do it legally, because legally you can't sell property that you do not own without a real estate license.
And being a wholesaler though, there's a lot still that goes on with it. It's a full industry, so don't think it's just like it's a get rich quick, it's an easy thing. It's something that truly has to be mastered.
Yeah.
I can tell you this: as an investor, I've bought properties from a wholesaler, but I've turned away tons of deals from wholesalers because they're not deals. You know, if it's not an opportunity for it to be a deal, then really as a wholesaler, you truly wasted your time because you realize then the house, either needs too much work or the price that the seller wants for it is going to be too high. Well, you wasted time and effort, and you can't do anything with that deal. As an agent, I said, oh well, that's what you want for it. Well, fine, let's put it on the market. We'll get you a number for you. You know, and we go from there.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it. Yeah, and I'm gonna show you the comps to say you may not be able to get this, but this is what the comps are saying, and I can prove why.
Right.
I think this house will sell for a certain price. If you're working with any kind of wholesalers, make sure that you get them to provide you the proof. Just get them to provide you the proof. And again, I would still consult a realtor. Most realtors, I will anyway. Most realtors. I don't know. I can't speak for most realtors. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna speak for myself. If you are interested in knowing if your house is of a certain value, I don't charge for that. I don't know many realtors that will charge to give you what they think your property is worth. Now, is it work for us? Yes. But I feel that if I do that work for you, I'll do it for free because I'm interested in helping you get your home sold. I would assume that they will come back. If they don't, it's something that I did because I'm a salesperson, so I feel like I need to go secure that and close that deal. But end of the day, we got to go. We're here to help, and so I don't have any problem doing CMAs or providing professional valuations, in my professional opinion, of what properties are worth. Now, other agents may not want to dabble in that, and that's fine, but just find you a team. I think this is part of where we get into like building a team, because if you're going to go into investing first, because this conversation isn't to steer anybody in any direction. I'm not trying to tell anyone to go invest first or go and get your real estate license first. That's not what this is doing. This is just to show you the different sides and the different perspectives on each side, right? So and that leads me to this question for you, because you are both. Are you an agent investor or an investor agent? Which one do you prioritize? Do you prioritize being an investor first or an agent first, and why?
No, I'm prioritizing being an investor first. First of all, I started being an investor first and foremost. But it's more like a 60-40 split. When I have projects going on, I'm hard and heavy on those projects. But usually I have, like you said, the team in place. I have the team in place as either repairing the property, getting everything where it needs to be. And that frees up my time to work with my clientele who are looking to buy or sell homes. Usually my sellers, they're getting off work and I'm meeting them after hours, after dinner. For my buyers, depends on their schedule. Because I am full-time agent, I can show properties in the mornings, I can show properties in the afternoon or the evening. So it really works both ways best for me doing it that way. And then once I'm not working on a flip project at the time, there may be a space where there's not a flip going on. I'm still investing, because then I'm just past invest. I'm look, first of the month, I'm happy. I'm collecting rent.
Yeah, and that's it. I think that's big time. And as an investor, just thinking in so many ways that first of all, thanks for coming on, because I really appreciate it, because I can sit here and talk all day about any of these topics and stuff, and without any kind of professional backing, it just looks like I'm just bumping my gums and stuff here, because these are things that I've definitely been saying. And I just want these people to kind of realize what it takes to do either one. And that's what we're going into next. Which one was more difficult? Getting your first deal in investing, first real deal. I'm not saying that your first purchasing your home is not a real deal. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the next deal after that, where it was actually an investment property, which I'm not arguing with, it is an investment property either. I'm just saying that after your home purchase, the next investment property that you did, what is the what do you feel would be, golly, I missed my question. It dropped me. It just literally just left my brain. That's sad.
Between the investment house and for what?
No. What were you saying?
between the buying the first deal or being an investor or being an agent?
Yeah.
Or
So on your first investment property, which was more difficult, getting that deal done all the way through the project or obtaining your real estate license?
um,
I know that's a question I didn't send you in advance, so
yeah. Well, it probably I would say getting the license was the hardest part. If you got some money in your hand, somebody be happy to take your money. Now it wasn't personally in my hand, but no, I researched and found this property, and I knew. Matter of fact, this is one of the ones I actually still own to this day. But I knew that it was undervalued. I knew it needed a light rehab, and I knew that I could rent it out. So having all that, and it was low numbers, and I say you got to risk your biscuit, and risking. I said, well, if I lost this, I wouldn't be totally upset, you know. This portion right here versus my real estate license. It was an investment of time and money. You got to get all your CEs and your licensing in place, and take your tests and all those certifications. So it was a quantifiable more time right there. But before I did that first deal, I mean, there was immense time just in sending research before then. But once I had the plan mapped out, kind of stuck to the script and rinse and repeat with that same plan for my rentals. And getting that license was just, I would say the license. It was nowhere near hard as pharmacy school, but it was something that I had to study for.
gotcha. And let me ask you this: so, um, well, that's great. So, I was going to ask you if you didn't if you didn't buy your home first, do you think that would still be your answer? If you didn't already own your first home, do you think your answer would still be the same, or do you think it would be flipped?
Um, Probably flipped. The biggest part of my thing with that is, um, I was going for the gusto. I'm from Memphis. I wanted to buy a duplex and live in a duplex for a year. But like you said, family and other obligations. I was married at the time. My wife, she's not from Memphis, and so usually a lot of places where duplexes are may not be the most spick and span places. And so she was not having it. She was not for that idea at all. But I tell you what, speaking of foreclosure list, my listeners, I did buy my first home as a foreclosure. It was a foreclosure. And in buying my home as a foreclosure, yeah, I had some equity walked into it, but you had to come in and work that sweat equity. I painted my house, and I, did everything that I needed to do to get it in move-in ready condition before I moved in it. And that really helped as well. Just having that understanding of that process right there alone, the purchasing of the house, and then the rehab, and that little bit that I was able to take care of. So that was something nice as well. But understanding that finance and how to set those deals up, that's very key. That's one thing that I do well with. I believe, as far as helping my buyers when they're getting ready to purchase a property, is knowing the terms. I don't ask about the terms just to be getting in their business. I'm making sure that they're not a victim of predatory lending. And that was something that, hindsight 2020, I didn't even know. My first property, I did not know predatory lending existed, even up in that was 2006. It was big time. Got 100% loan, and didn't know all the full ins and outs. And my agent, she was like, "Okay, you're gonna get a house signed right here," and that's where I feel I provide a lot of value to my clientele. Is that, hey, I make sure that I'm gonna get in your business a little bit. Why is he asking about this? To help you. It's not for me to just know your business. I got my own properties. It's to help you make a good deal, because I look at it like this: if I help you make a good purchase on this first time, you're gonna come back to me again, whether it's for your rental property, for your mother, for your cousin, for your aunt, or even for your next property in the future as well. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you take care of people, they take care of you, right?
absolutely.
Yes, sir. So, man, I really appreciate you. Look, one more time, do me a favor, give everybody your company names, give them your name, your company names, and your contact information and social media, so they know how to get in contact with you.
Okay. My name is Amirio Armour. I'll spell it. It's Amirio. Last name Armour. Armour. Email aarmor2.aa@gmail.com. You can look me up on social media on Facebook under my name, Amirio Armour. I'm on Instagram at amirio.armour slash farmb/realtor. Um, I'm easily accessible. If you can't get me through all those, you can always come back to Mr. Tate and he can send you my way.
I sure will. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I appreciate you again, brother. And we got to do this again. There's so much to talk on. We've touched on so much today. And we just really skimmed the surface on a lot of this stuff, man. So I appreciate you being on. And if there's anything we can do for you here, just let us know.
Absolutely. Appreciate it now. You take care.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Again, I want to thank my guest, Amirio Armour. Man, 15 years of real estate investing and just a wealth of knowledge there. So we are very appreciative for that. I want to close by saying this. Real estate is one of the most sought after investments in the world. If you want to get a piece of the action, you must arm yourself with the information to achieve your goals, right? We talked about it all day today. You want to go get that information, whatever means that may take. It may be you go get your real estate license. It may be attend a seminar from one of the local real estate investment groups. And I could name drop some of those, but it can be from anywhere. But make sure that you have the information. Make sure that you have an information. As an agent, I feel that my main job is to provide my clients with the information to make the best decision possible. And for that reason, you should do that as well for yourself, in your life, in your business also. I think that the glam of the investor is always touted on TV and social media, but the work, knowledge, and risk associated are very rarely discussed. People don't talk about the work it takes for an investor to find the deals, to put those deals together, to negotiate those deals and close. Nobody talks about all that. Those are steps that must be done in order to close on a transaction. If you don't know anything about them, you're already a step behind. Knowledge is everything in real estate. And a real estate license may not make you the world's greatest investor, but it will arm you with the information and access to many possible revenue streams. You heard this tonight. Amirio was a 10-year investor before he got his real estate license. 10 years. Why did he get his license? Open them up to more information. Open them up to at least two more revenue streams. Your real estate license has many, and I will do another show on that if you guys are interested. Like, comment, and subscribe again. But many revenue streams in real estate. I mean, BPOs, short sales, REO properties, just working in investment groups, listing properties, working with buyers. Oh my God. The list goes on and on and on and on, guys. There's a ton of ways to make money in real estate. And then here's the thing we didn't even talk about today. As a real estate agent, you're not banned from being an investor. They don't tell you don't have to, you can't be an investor because you have a real estate license. Now that I have my real estate license, I am more armed and more prepared to be an investor than I think any of the, I'm not going to say any, I'm going to say most of the investors in the market right now. And I feel that's true. I really do. Because I have the information, I have the data, everything that I need is at my fingertips. Now, I am a NAREB member, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and I'm going to give them a little plug here tonight. They just launched a program for Black real estate agents. Here's the thing. It is Black History Month, okay? And the fact of the matter is that fewer than 6% of active real estate agents and brokers identify as Black. but more than 11% of the population is Black. So we are not represented in this industry as much as we need to be. And that's why I am proud to help announce. They've already come out with the newsletter and all that stuff, and I've got links and stuff for you guys. But I'm proud to announce they've launched a program that provides financial and business support to brand new Black real estate agents. Man, I'm talking about everything from pre-licensing classes, agent exams, some technology and marketing needs, the works. They're offering all of this. This is from NARAB, and it's a partnership with HomeLight. HomeLight and NARAB have made a partnership for the Black Real Estate Agent Program. Has been trademarked. There's even $5,000 of potential financing for you to get your start in a career in real estate. Sign up, guys. It's no risk to sign up. Just sign up. See if you apply. If you are qualified to join the program. There are only very few qualifications. I believe you have to be between 18 and 35. Here we go. Between 18 and 35. Interested in a career in real estate, but not established as an agent already. Willing to work with a NARAB broker during their first year in real estate. My company is definitely one of those. Committed to spending 5 to 10 hours a week working with mentors on continuing education. I plan to be one of those mentors. And applicants can be located in any one of the 29 major markets with NARAB Realtors presence, and Memphis is one of those markets. If you guys are interested in this or more on that, please just like, comment, subscribe, give me a comment, and I promise you I will post the link here. And if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to contact me on any of my social media platforms. Comment here. And this is it. This was a great show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. A little longer than we usually go, but I think the information was definitely pertinent. And until next time, it's a good night. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you next Thursday, 6 o'clock, right here on Tate Talk. Thank you, guys.